So after I've made my coffee, I decided to make myself a green smoothie this morning. I wanted something light and fresh, so I started with 2 handfuls, heaping handfuls of spinach. I love adding spinach to my smoothies. It's pretty much the base of all of my smoothies, so I added 2 handfuls of that. I also had some fresh kale, so I kind of ripped that up and put that in as well. I always like to add collagen. I like to have it either with my coffee or in my smoothies depending on the day. So I added a scoop of that into the smoothie as well. To make my smoothie more creamy and also to give me some healthy fats, I added in some frozen avocado. This is like a game changer. I always love adding avocado, but it's amazing if you can find it frozen because it just makes life a lot easier. I also added in some pineapples and some peaches and then poured some water over it, and that was pretty much my smoothie. Sometimes I like to have a heavier, more protein-rich smoothie, but I just wanted something light and fresh today, so this is what I went with, and it came out to be this gorgeous green color, and it was really nice. All of the fruit mixed really well together. It was just a nice, good start to my morning. Fresh and delicious. So for lunch today, I have this super cute spaghetti squash that I'm going to use up. I originally wanted to do it for a dinner, but since it's so small, I'm going to just use it for lunch. This is what I like to do if I'm craving pasta, but want something a little bit healthier. I've tried zoodles, zucchini noodles, and I don't like them as much as I like spaghetti squash, so that's what I'm gonna do. First thing you wanna do is preheat your oven to about 400. Since this one's smaller, I'm not really sure how long this is gonna cook, but I'm gonna try and cut it in half. This is always the hardest part. I do find it best to kind of saw it back and forth. That's why I use a serrated knife. It does kind of take a while. You can also cut off the ends because that's gonna be a little bit easier. Nice, okay. Now that it's open, I'm gonna take a spoon and just remove all of the guts. Once you've removed all of the guts, get it on a sheet with some tin foil, and I'm going to just brush it with some avocado oil. Any oil would be fine. We just always have avocado oil. And then I take one of these like barbecue brushes and just kind of coat the inside. Get it nice and all around it. And then you can season this with anything you like. I always use a little bit of seasoning salt, which is very high in sodium, but it's very delicious. So I'm gonna do just like a quick little sprinkle of this. Like I said, you can do whatever type of seasoning you want though. And then I'm gonna stick that in the oven at 400 for about 30 minutes. That's when I'll check on it. Also too, I cook it face down. My spaghetti squash is out of the oven. It looks really good, and I have a little saucepan with some pasta sauce heating up because I'm also going to add in some spinach and have that wilt down to put on top of the spaghetti squash. Once your spaghetti squash is done, just take a fork and start kind of scraping it, and everything should shred really nicely. When you're checking on your spaghetti squash, what I like to do is when it's flipped over, I stick a fork in it, and if it's soft, then it means it's pretty well done. And then you just add the sauce onto the spaghetti squash, and it's a nice, warm, comforting lunch. Earlier this week, I made these delicious muffins. They're blueberry almond flour muffins, and they are gluten-free. They were so delicious, and all the ingredients are very, very simple. So I want to make another batch because I have some leftover blueberries, and like I said, they're just like so quick and easy to make, and they're delicious to have with your coffee or like an afternoon snack. So I'm gonna make those now. First, we're gonna mix the wet ingredients. So that includes our 2 eggs, a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Of course, you can use fresh lemon juice if you have it, but this little squeezy bottle works just as good. And 2 tablespoons of either avocado oil or coconut oil. Now moving on to the dry ingredients, we're gonna do a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm gonna add 2 cups of almond flour, but I'm actually gonna put this through a sifter just because mine is quite crumbly at the moment and I want it to be nice and fluffy, so I'm just putting it through a sifter before it goes into the mix. And for the last bits, you can kind of just press them through to get them nice and smooth. If you guys use almond flour for a lot of recipes, the best place to get it is Costco if you're able, because they come in quite a large pack, and alternative flours seem to be so expensive. But yeah, Costco is a good place to find almond flour. And then go ahead and mix that all in. Once that's all combined, you can go ahead and add in 1 cup of the blueberries. These ones are fresh. You can of course use frozen. There's no really difference. Obviously fresh is better, but if you have frozen, that works too. And just kind of lightly fold them in. This recipe only makes about 8 to 9 muffins, I find, so it's a little bit of a smaller batch, but you can always double the recipe if you want more. Now I have a greased muffin tin. Of course you can use the little inserts if you want, but I just decided to spray it with coconut oil, and I'm taking a 1/3 cup, kind of filling it like that, and I'm going to just place it into the muffin tray. You want these to be about 1/3 of the way up for a decent sized muffin. These are now going in the oven at 350, and I'm gonna check on them at 18 minutes. Here's a look at the finished muffins. They look so good. I left them in at 18 minutes and then added an extra 4 minutes, and they're perfect. Just do the toothpick test and you'll know. They look very golden and honestly perfect. And there we go. The muffins are now on a serving plate, just purely for aesthetics, but if you are planning on keeping them out a little bit longer, if they're planning on lasting you the week or so, maybe pop them in the fridge. Look at my cutie little muffin on a plate. This is such a good snack for the afternoon. They're good warm, they're good cold, or left at like room temperature like I said, and I want to show you guys the texture before I devour this one. A little bit of steam. It's a little bit blueberry heavy on one side, but not too bad. Definitely like quite moist and spongy on the inside, but delicious. These would also pair really nicely with an afternoon coffee or tea, just saying. Cody is home from work now, so we're gonna get started on dinner. I'm starving. I feel like normally I'll have like one more meal during the day, but I didn't today, so I'm extra hungry. Tonight we're having steak, Brussels sprouts, carrots, and then I really like picking up these little potato company little potato packs because they just go into the microwave. Super easy. They come with flavor packs. It's just nice and simple. I'm all about simplicity these days. For Christmas, Cody was gifted the Ninja Foodie, which has become our absolute new favorite thing. We barely ever touch the oven anymore. We cook everything in here. So we're gonna do the steaks and all of the vegetables in here tonight. And this is like a grill / air fryer, which is super cool. And we also have like a little insert for veggies, but it has like the grill plate, which is separate. And then this is like the air fry basket. While the grill is preheating, Cody is patting down the steaks, and then I think you're just gonna add Montreal steak. Okay, so I've already chopped up about 3 long carrots. We also have the Brussels sprouts cut into half here. And Cody's gonna make the carrots like a honey glaze. So I think it's salt, pepper, oil, and drizzle of honey on top. I also definitely recommend these peelers. They're so nice, very comfortable on the hand, and make peeling vegetables so easy. So for the carrots, we kind of just eyeball it. We put in avocado oil, give it a nice little toss. And like I said, just salt, pepper, and honey after that.
So Mick is working on the Brussels sprouts. We just do a simple adding of some oil, stir that up.
Very loose Brussels sprouts. They're very crumbly.
And that's just an onion powder that she's adding. Do you put garlic powder on again?
Sometimes. Do you want me to?
Sure, why not?
See, look at how like fluffy they are. They're gonna be crisp little leaves. these potatoes, you can toss them in oil or butter. We happen to have a lot of extra butter, so that's what I'm gonna do. And this flavor is like a garlic parsley flavor, I think. Dinner is served. The carrots are good. Just the right amount of tenderness. And like I said, these Brussels sprouts are so airy for some reason.
I noticed that about the
They taste good though.
nesters.
They're really tasty though. I do like them. Catch up with you guys after. I have a feeling I'll be making popcorn later tonight because it's been a craving and it sounds really good. So, well friends, it's around 10:30 and Cody and I spent the past 2 hours shooting a 30-second reel. So I hope it turns out. I'm exhausted and I'm really hungry again. So I'm gonna make a snack. I'm gonna make that popcorn I talked about. And also I forgot I bought nectarines. So I'm gonna have a nectarine too. And I'm very excited about it because it sounds really good. This is the popcorn we have. It's Whole Alternatives organic microwave popcorn, butter flavor. Just a good old microwavable popcorn. And then to add a little bit of fun to the popcorn, I like to add this sweet and salty kettle corn popcorn seasoning. It's 0 calorie and gluten-free and it's really good. So I just do a light dusting of that. I'm gonna get that nectarine. That baby. Light dusting of the flavor. This will be the last thing I eat today, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps and supports my channel. If you like these videos, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye!